Okay, it's week 8 for us. It's a big week. Message the team is going to be each week the stakes get bigger. Each point gets a little bit bigger. And more important, and the sense of urgency this time of year has got to be really strong to max out every point. And that's what we're working on. Just a side note, seeing the crowds at Penn State and Rutgers. I mean, they broke records. So that's been pretty cool. So we're honored to be a part of that, and excited for two very competitive matches this week. So we're going to get a good test.
That crowd at Rutgers, could you tell how much was Husker fans, how much were Rutgers fans?
You couldn't tell because everybody's in red, but when they were in the introductions, I'd say it's probably 60-40 Rutgers to Nebraska. But it's amazing to me how many Nebraska fans are on the East Coast. When we go to Maryland, we're typically over 50%. Rutgers, we've always had a contingency there. But what was interesting, they bust in a lot of school kids, and those kids were all cheering for us, all waiting. I mean, we could have probably signed autographs for over an hour, but, we're trying to get back, and I felt bad because some of these guys probably drove 2-3 hours to get there, and, we can't take pictures and autographs because, it's a long trip. But anyway, it's great to see those. Again, our players, I think, we're all moved by the impact they're having on kids and how excited they are to see our players. They're great role models.
You get a chance to watch the documentary yet?
Yeah, watched it Saturday. It's unbelievable. So, yeah, those guys are amazing. I sent them a text, and I mean, they're Kevin's the producer, director. The guy's big time. So very well done, and it's just it's almost like it's hard to believe that the Big Ten's doing a documentary on Nebraska volleyball. It's just, again, it's hard to believe, but how they ran through it, the history, and then capture it with a stadium match it was very moving. My phone blew up from people that have watched it, were emotional, impacted by that documentary. So it's a very powerful documentary.
John, how much does that Penn State match do for this team moving forward, being in that kind of situation where you drop the first 2 sets, and how much will that help this team and the younger players down the line?
Well, I think the biggest lesson we took from that, by the way, did you like my cowboy shirt I was wearing?
Of course,
yeah,
of course
I picked that out special. Because everybody's asking me, what's that background, So you've been there,
I have. It's a great place.
But back to Penn State, I think the biggest lesson for us is that, hey, we weathered a big storm. Penn State was playing great. We found a way to hang in there and win by 2 points. And that's, we talk about that all the time. And you look at a lot of the matches every weekend, they're coming down to 15-13, 16-14, 18-16 in the fifth. So sometimes you got to try to just be 2 points better. And that's the message that we learned from that. And it was a great job by our team of hanging in there. And their crowd's great. Its place is loud. And Penn State played great.
Did their demeanor change at all once they fell down?
I just think they were playing at such a high level to start with. Eventually, you're going to, it's called regression to the mean if you took stats in college. And eventually, you're going to, come down more to, where is your mean in playing? And I just think they were playing at a really high level, and there wasn't much we could do. They were playing so well, and so they kind of came back down, and we kind of, took the haymaker and got back in there and found a way to start winning close games.
You never saw any panic or any?
No.
Urgency rose, but not to the level of panic?
Nope. This group's done a great job of that. They have a belief system that they've installed, and they're relying on it.
How difficult is that to stick with it when the other team is playing at that level early on?
It's really hard because you're just thinking, oh my gosh. And same with Rutgers. Rutgers came out and played they were making these digs. I'm like, where the heck's this coming from? they're one of the lower hitting efficiency teams in the Big Ten. So people have been, they've had a hard time stopping people. And like for a 3-game match, I mean, we had 132 sets in a 3-game match. Usually you're at 90. And so there was a lot of rallies in that match, and Rutgers played really, really well. We played well too. It's just Rutgers. So I think they were really inspired by the crowd they had. It's a record crowd for them. It's like over 4,000 more than they've ever had, and it's inspiring.
Hey, John, how big have your two captains been in helping your freshmen not hit the wall or adjust if things like that happen where they get fatigued mentally as the Big Ten season, the grind goes on?
Yeah, my respect for Merritt and Lexi goes up every week for the job that they're doing and how they're managing this team and how they're keeping everybody together. Those two are very, very gifted leaders, and they work really well together. And again, the best compliment I can give is just my admiration and respect goes up for them every week, watching them, how they're taking care of each other and our team. They're doing an amazing job. Because this isn't easy, what we're trying to do. It's not easy. And but they're, much respect.
How do you see them take care of each other?
Those two just work together, and they're constant communication. I think they're very close friends, and I just think they have a great pulse and feel of the team, and they just work off of each other. I mean, it's I don't want to call it chemistry. I just think it's a relationship that they have, and they know the responsibility they have, and they've really embraced it. And again, it's not easy. What we're trying to do is not easy, and so they've done an amazing job.
How would you grade the sense of urgency for this team, and has it improved over the season?
Well, it goes up and down every day. So today they're going to feel a sense of urgency from their coach. So they've already received some texts and videos of where our sense of urgency needs to be focused on today. So it starts with me, and it's got to filter down. And I've challenged our coaches that we have to bring energy and a sense of urgency today, because this time of year it's easy just to try to get through it and get out.
How would you say that it was against Penn State, especially early?
Well, it was we definitely had a sense of urgency against Penn State. It's just they were playing really well. So, but like I said, we found a way.
Are there days when you take the foot off the gas a little bit?
Me? No. But there's days I've got to, we had, like, there was a flu bug ran through our team last week. So there's just days, and you just know that, we just say, hey, we know you don't have everything today, but just give us what you got. And maybe we shorten it up, less reps. That's the art of coaching, that it's a constant balancing act. If you guys have ever gone to China and you go to their acrobatic shows, there's always these dudes that have about 27 plates going, spinning all at the same time, and they keep them going. That's what it feels like as a coach. I've actually used that in coaching clinics as an analogy or metaphor or whatever you call it. I need Lindsay Krause to tell me which one. But that's what you feel like. You're just constantly keeping all these plates, everything's spinning, and that's the art of coaching.
Speaking of Lindsay Krause, how is she?
I had a dream she would be in practice today, so we'll see. I don't know. She's working really hard.
She's still using her boot, walking boot?
I didn't see her yesterday, but on the trip she is, because it's just, we're walking everywhere, and hotels, planes, all that stuff.
Hey, how hard do you think that's been for her to watch some of these matches and not be able to participate?
Brutal. Because, she also is a leader on that team, especially when we're competing. And so it's been brutal for her. But she's doing a great job. I mean, she's hanging in there and working hard and really upbeat.
Who's helping get her through it?
Our trainer, Jolene. So she's the one that's, I mean, she's rehabbing hours every day, so.
Is this the week where you give the freshmen the talk that they're no longer freshmen because
No,
the season's
I was
around?
thinking about that this morning, but we got a couple more weeks to go, so. I think it's kind of at the end of the Big Ten, then they're no longer freshmen, but we never even I never even mentioned the word freshman with those guys. So I would never bring it up, because I don't want them thinking they're freshmen.
How challenging is this week? I mean, you come from a Sunday match, yesterday's off practice to a match tomorrow. How challenging is that quick turnaround for Western?
Yeah, the message is we're kind of not going to be in a routine now for the rest of the season. It's not going to be the typical Friday, Saturday, we're playing weird days. Thanksgiving week is always a funky week. Then we don't know, when we get to the tournament, we don't know what we're playing Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So that's going to be one of the themes today is there's no more, we're no more in our, longer in our normal routine. We just gotta, adjust and adapt but we gotta try to stay in our routine as much as we can. So they can't change their routine because we have days off and here and there and so on, so. But, okay, just so you guys know that today is voting day and it's government day and the NCAA requires us to do something, to educate our players on voting and maybe read the Declaration of Independence or something, I don't know. But I asked Governor Pillen to come in. He's coming in Thursday. And I said, I think you got a great story to tell. You went from a football player to a pig farmer to the governor. So you got a great story to talk about how they should be involved in civic duty. So he'll be educating our team on Thursday. So I'm kind of fired up about that. Okay, guys, thanks.